I mean, he has an album coming. I truly believe. I haven't heard confirm anything yet, but there was like some type of thing that went up for auction, and there was like a CD for like.
That was missing.
Yeah. I saw
it. Was the museum thing, and it was like this entire collection of all his albums. Yeah. And there was an empty one at the end of it.
The museum looked good. I wish I could have. I could have went to that. I think it ended in December.
My dumbass lives out here and didn't go. I'll regret it for a long time.
Yeah, that's super dope.
The lines were crazy long though, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, I heard it was solid though. I was gonna go to last weekend. I'm like, oh, it's probably gonna be ridiculous, and I just never made it. I should have made it, but like, I love the idea of 50-year-old Jay dropping an album.
That's like, what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna ask, like, are we ready to listen to a 50-year-old rapper? It's unprecedented.
Are we listening to Nas?
No. But I wasn't listening to Nas before, like, so that's not a diss. But Jay still has like this aura about him. So I will say this: I don't like this era of Jay-Z and Beyonce where they're just like deities and they're just above us in every way and remind us constantly. So somebody was on Threads today about the Hove did verse.
That's crazy.
Like, yo, that's the best shit. Shout out Threads.
That's a wild reference.
To the in-season tournament.
Josh had to remember what Threads was just now.
I almost said Twitter, and I had to think it. And
why are you still on Threads? Because actually, Mark had mentioned that to me yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, like bands be on Threads all the time." I was like, "That's
Threads is popping."
That's because
I can get my shit off and leave. Like y'all know, Twitter is like I could be like, "Yo, what's up, Mark?" and then I'm gonna get 20 mentions about KD and the Suns and all this shit. So I can get my shit off and leave. Like, you know, that's like a part of your brain. Like I have to release this really random dumb thought or it's going to sit there and bother me. Yeah. If I don't have that outlet on Twitter, I need it somewhere. So, but dude say, yo, the guy did verse was crazy. And I'm like, dog, I'm tired of Jay telling me like, he's just like financially situated for generations and that we shouldn't trust Billboard and the Grammys. Like, yo, you either got to turn the clock back, big homie, or you got to tell me some cool shit. Because I get it. Like, yeah, fuck the system, but let's go. I mean, you also sell me all kind of shit at all times. So, like, but like, I was thinking about Magna Carta Holy Grail, and I'm like,
oh my god, what? Can we talk about that?
I said, yo, he kicked a lot of shit on here that was, I hate this phrase, but it was ahead of his time. Like when he was getting in his artsy art collector shit, and now all my favorite people are at Basel every year partying. I'm like, oh yeah, y'all fucking. Now y'all know who Basquiat is. Oh, okay, I see what's going on.
Jay has sold us so much shit in the past decade. Magna Carta was the beginning of that. I remember the premiere of the Justin Timberlake accompanied title track off that. And I was like, this sounds like some Broadway type shit.
It's funny. I went back and listened to that album recently. I'm not mad at that album. And to your point, ahead of its time, definitely like putting this on game, which Jay always does. I feel like still to this day, God did verse. He's saying little things like putting this on game. And I get where it looks or sounds a little preachy, but I'm also like, niggas ain't not even old, but it's like he's saying it over and over again because niggas still not picking up on it. Niggas are still doing the things that he's saying don't do.
So I was in a meeting recently and they were discussing this show they're trying to do. And the premise of the show is essentially it's like basketball players showing their art collections. Yeah. And like, I hope I'm not stepping on the idea here or whatever. But anyway, the point is our view of an art collector has changed so much. And I think I don't want to overstate it, but I think Magna Carta Holy Grail was the beginning of that within the culture. Because when we think of art collector before, we think of like Ocean's 12, where they're fucking stealing these gigantic paintings from these old European dudes. But now it's like, yo, like Jaylen Brown has a Picasso in his house type shit. You know, like Esquire's, you got Picasso in your crib. But like now we have these 20-year-old millionaires that are like, yo, I got to get a Basquiat for my living room. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Jay did kind of introduce some of those high art elements to what is here, and I think that Kanye did too with the avant-garde type shit he was doing. But
more than that
stuff was ahead of itself.
He was introducing us to stuff that appreciates over time, and I think that's what I can appreciate. No pun intended. More about what he was saying. Like he's like, oh, we got to get things that last. Yeah. He's like, Jay's always his thing is always, I'm timeless. My verses are timeless, and it's true. Yeah, like his verses are always timeless. I think that after a certain point, you're just kind of like, okay, like just so like Ben says, like, okay, bro, like it's almost
we get it, big homie.
Dad talking to you. It's like, all right, bro, I get it.
And so niggas take heed. He gonna keep saying it. I mean, because like you gotta think about this shit, like, you know, and this might sound super whack and heavy handed, but it's like as much jewelry as we have as a culture, niggas should have as much art and things that appreciate.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah. No, I think there's like a new appreciation for like good watches too. Not like just bust down joints.
Yeah.
Like I think it was fuck, I'm gonna forget his name, but the Griselda dudes, they had a joint called like Investment Pieces, and they were talking about that shit. Like, it was just a bar on the hook, but there's this idea of like, yo, the clean watch now is the better watch. Yeah. And the internet's part of that shit too. But again, that's something Jay ushered in too. Like, yo, I'm old enough to know what car to buy, but young enough not to put old enough not to put rims on it, or whatever the fuck he said. Yeah. But there's definitely like a changing of the guard with a lot of that stuff. And he is banging us over the head with it, but yeah, buy some shit that appreciates.
I think people love short-term gratification. I think we all know that. Yeah. We like Jay's in for the long term. There's gonna be a generation that loves that. There's gonna be a generation like us that go back and listen to it and they're like, oh shit, he was really putting us on game. But I think that like in terms of like 50-year-old Jay-Z album, I don't know does he turn the clock back?
No, I mean I think he talks about shit that 50-year-olds want to hear. I mean honestly, just people who are maturing while being a black man in America. I think there's definitely topics he can hit on.
Don't put your kids on the verse.
My thing is, it's so
Blue
funny,
will be on the album. You shitting me?
Yeah, come on.
If Adonis got a whole song and Nori got a joint, Blue was getting her shit off. Fuck out of here.